Hello, good afternoon. How are you, Holly? We'll give everyone a few minutes to file in. If you're watching the replay, make sure to do all the things, and you might want to fast forward a couple of minutes just until we start the reading. This is going to be a collective energy reading as usual. Hello, good afternoon. How are you, Holly? Give everyone a few minutes to file in. It's been a long weekend. I've been tired. It's going good for me. I didn't end up getting sick. I was feeling tired, for a few days, but I had to stay up really late Friday night, so I'm still catching up on sleep. Hi, Anna. How are you, darling? Good to see you. Hi, Susan. Nice to see you live. You're a busy, busy mama. Yay. The soul soup is coming in. How's everybody doing? This is going to be, a little bit of ick, but not too bad. I think it's going to be inspirational by the time we finish, but yeah, we got some icky stuff happening in the collective, as we all know. So, yeah, it'll be a blend of the two. All right. We've got plenty of people in so far, so why don't we just get started then? Hello, Lauren. How are you? Just realized I have hypermobility. Explains a lot body-wise. Yeah. Yep. Yes, ma'am. I understand that one for sure. I'm very hypermobile. Most people can't do this easily. I can reach every spot on my back both ways. My knees bend incredibly far back whenever they lock. Yeah. So I get you. I hear you on that. Is it hard for you to be on your feet for extended periods of time? Because it is for me. One of those things. And when I was pregnant, when you're pregnant, your body releases a hormone called elastin, and it makes you incredibly stretchy. Obviously, you have to stretch to make room for the baby. But I was incredibly stretchy, and it caused some issues with me. Like, I had to be extra careful so that I didn't fall or just twist my ankle standing still. It was ridiculous. Basically, I have more water in my fascia and joints. Yep. Yep. No matter, no wonder you connect so much with water. Yes, ma'am. Oh, yeah. Yes, I'm hypermobile for sure. I've known that for a very long time, but that's one of the reasons why I couldn't continue working for the school district. Hello, Suzanne. How are you, darling? Hello, Helena. Nice to see your gorgeous faces. Starting an online Facebook marketplace resale clothing business this week. Awesome, Susan. I love that. Perfect for you. I love it. You get very tired and achy standing for long periods of time. Yeah, I will like I've passed out before just from standing or walking because my blood pressure fluctuates and stuff. So yeah, it's all part of the hypermobility issue. But yeah, my fascia extremely stretchy. Um, it's a 73. That's awesome. I'm glad you're having better weather, Suzanne. I know you were miserable, darling. I'm so sorry. Oh, yeah, weather's going to be shifting and changing like we talked about when I told you guys like a year or two ago that the poles were switching, that they were moving. And that happened. So give it time and my stuff will make sense. Oh man. All right. So I guess We're at 5 minutes in. We can go ahead and start. Anyone else that wants to come in can catch up. Catch up, mouse turds. Okay. My father used to say ketchup, mustard. So that comes from him. Do not like that cold weather. Hi, Lori. Hello. No Facebook notification, but you caught me. I'm so glad. That's crazy. Facebook, Facebook sucks. I don't get notified of people's birthdays even on Facebook. Like they don't notify me when I get messages most of the time. I don't know I have a message until I open my messenger. Like it won't even show the little bubble thing. I don't know. It's Facebook has a vendetta, I think, on everyone. All right, let's get started. Okay. Yeah. All right. So we're going to start with the bottom of the tarot. Just, I was told. Eight of Pentacles. You've already put the work in. This is sit back, relax, rest yourself. This is not the only card of rest that we have here. But right now, rest is of very high importance. Thank you, Laren, for that tip. I just saw it come through my Venmo. Thank you. So Eight of Pentacles, you've put in so much work. It's time to rest, recharge, rebalance. Does not like the love going around for sure, Suzanne. Facebook is grinchy when it comes to that. It drives your spicy brain crazy. Girl, I feel that. Hello, Miss Dallas. We love you. Dallas is over on YouTube watching. So right behind that Eight of Pentacles, we have the Seven of Wands, and it's showing up in the reverse. So rest is going to be very important. Grounding ourselves right now through these chaotic times is going to be of paramount importance. I can't stress it enough because, whenever you are feeling under pressure or feeling anxiety or, feeling outside of balance and harmony, your brain is going to, especially for us neurospicy individuals, okay, your brain is not going to always function properly. You just sorted the puppy. Hi, Katie. We love you. So when we are under pressure, under stress, under anxiety, under chaos, we can't always see opportunities or the glimmers, right? The glimmers of hope, the positivity, because we're under pressure. So when we're under pressure, we can't always see possibility. We can't always, be in our high frequency. We can't, not just always, we just can't. We can't be in that higher frequency. So we're going to miss a lot of opportunities or miss a lot of information that would be helpful, that would be beneficial. And we're also not going to be anchoring that higher frequency into this earth plane, which is so needed right now as we make this transition. So, love you, Katie. So that's going to cause us to, judgment in the reverse, not be able to make the most grounded decisions for ourselves and for others. We're not going to be grounding that beautiful high frequency, which, isn't going to throw things off. There's tons of us here right now that are grounding it, that are holding it down. And you also do need to move through any triggers, any emotions that surface without bypassing those, right? So there is a fine line that we do walk as the awakened ones. It's a delicate balance, right? So we need to be present as much as we possibly can. What if that means turning off the news, cutting contact with people that trigger anxiety within us so that we can ground into our own frequencies, so that we can address these emotions and these thoughts as they come up, because it's not only emotions, it's going to be thoughts. We do have to, you just got over pneumonia? Oh my goodness. I'm glad you're over it, though. That's so good, Suzanne. I'm sorry you had to experience that. It sucks. Even if it wasn't that bad, it still sucks. So being at peace within yourself as often as you can, being at balance within yourself as often as you can right now is going to be so important, not just for the collective, but also for you in your own individual lives. This opens Delta Doorway, limitless freedom, limitless possibility. This is, that delta state that we reach when we are in REM sleep. This is reaching the quantum realms. And if we know anything about manifestation, we know everything's already created in the quantum. It's up to us to ground it in. It's up to us to anchor it into our own individual experiences, but also for the collective. So when we're so focused on the chaos that's happening, on all of the injustices, on all of the travesties that are taking place around this earth plane, we're not able to anchor in the reality, the timeline that we want. We're anchoring even deeper the current chaotic timeline, and that kind of prolongs our experience with said timeline. So I know it is difficult not to focus on all of the chaos, all of the tragedy, all of the injustice that happens, in every corner of this earth plane. It's difficult. I get it. Okay. But that's something you're going to have to overcome on the individual level. Now, just because you may be grappling with the ability to overcome that does not mean that you are thwarting what's happening collectively. It just means that you need a little more time to process, a little more time to gain your stability. I'm like, not the wobble, stability. So, hello, darling. So, as we continue to navigate our own chaotic waters, and also with regard to the collective chaos happening, we're able to anchor in even more deeply our frequency, our sovereignty, our solid, unshakable, immovable energy. Okay. So, this is very important to the shift. We are gaining momentum into this new timeline, into this new reality. But we're going to have wobbles here and there, right? We're going to be triggered. That's just the name of the game here at this current time. As we pivot into the newer reality, that's going to become less and less impactful on our experience here. So deception, right behind that, lies, manipulation, envy. This is what they're doing. This is the name of the game. We already know their tactics. We already know. We can see it playing out. Like, I know most of you probably see the tactics that are playing out in the collective and just eye rolling, okay? Because we already know it. We've seen it. It's a pattern. We recognize patterns as neurospicy individuals, which is basically all of you here. I can almost guarantee that. So we can see right through the illusion, transparency right behind that. We're seeing through the illusion, through the deception, and we're not allowing ourselves to be programmed by the programming that they're attempting at this time. We can see it for what it is. We can help advocate for the truth. We can help to awaken others by being awakened within ourselves. It is a stage. The actors are all just playing a part. Exactly, Suzanne. So, I mean, there's the marionettes, the little puppets, and then there's the puppet masters that pull the strings, right? And we know that. So many people that are here at this time can see that. We know it. We've seen the patterns. A lot of us have been really interested and invested in learning about history as they've reported it. And we can see the illusion even there, but we can also see the patterns. You know how they say history repeats itself. No, it doesn't. Not necessarily. Okay. Sometimes there are energetic patterns that do repeat, but we evolve constantly and consistently through these patterns, through many phases. And we're at the end phase. We're in the last repeat of this pattern of his story, and we're creating her story. We're creating the truth. We're creating the new. Okay. We're anchoring um, highest good of all energies into this plane, not just the highest good of the few. I have avoided this show. It's to make others angry and cause distraction. Exactly, Katie. And that, that also may be wonderful for you and a lot of us. Okay. There are also others who have different jobs to do here, different functions to perform here, where maybe they are called to watch what's going on, to observe, to witness what's going on, and to not be so impacted by it, to gain an understanding of it, and to be able to put ourselves into the observer energy without being so impacted by it, because those of us who do have that job are going to be the ones who anchor that healing, that medicine in for the collective of people that do watch, that do pay attention, that do get manipulated by this kind of thing. So everyone has their own function. We all have our own calling, our own job to perform here with regard to this entire shift. And there are those who awaken others to the interesting things of the paranormal and things like that, that may perhaps get really deeply into that and believe very solidly a certain way. And, they're meant to kind of open the imaginations, the intuitions, the within of other people who may not have really gotten involved in the paranormal, or looked outside of the tiny little box that they've been programmed into their entire lives. So that group of people may or may not always be correct in their um, perspective, but they awaken people to deeper and deeper truths. And then from there, these people will then kind of migrate towards whatever resonates the most with them. And it can change. There are many different levels to it. There are many different levels to awakening. So even though there might be some that kind of sway people into darker energies, that's still awakening people to the fact that there's more than what we've been taught, right? And then that starts to cause those people to think more deeply, think more individually, right? Doing their critical thinking and not just going along with what they're fed. So there are many different levels, like we've talked about. This is a mycelial network that is here to assist with the shift. So there are going to be people on all levels of frequency that some may judge as doing a disservice to the spiritual community or to the consciousness based communities. But, they're actually performing exactly what they were meant to perform here. They're aligned with what they're aligned with at this time in their soul's history, for lack of a better term. And they're just performing the function that they were called to perform, and that's why they feel so deeply about it. So I know you weren't trying to go off on anything like that, Katie. I was just using that kind of triggered something, so I I had to expand on that one. So I know that you know better than that. I know that you know all of this stuff, but for anyone new who's watching who may have a different perspective, maybe that'll broaden things for them. So thank you, Katie, for serving as an example for me to expand on. Um, Sorry, let me go back up. I'm missing some comments here. Ooh. Lynn has been in a lot of pain. She's sleeping right now, and I'm trying to sweep, mop, dust, and clean my apartment and pay bills online while listening to you. I get very little downtime as a caregiver, so I multitask when I have the energy and I'm not overwhelmed. Completely understandable, Lori. You're an absolute angel for helping to caregive for Lynn and making sure that her needs are met and everything with regard to your household is taken care of. And I know how difficult it can be to, be the only one performing all of those functions. So whenever you can join us, and whenever you have the bandwidth to, oh, I know you're not offended, Katie. Whenever you have the bandwidth to join or to, watch or whatever, then you're more than welcome. We love you and we support you, even though, we're not there with you and we're not actively involved with you because you're so busy. doesn't mean that you don't have the love and support from our community. So please remember that you are so loved and you are so supported. Your puppet master is here, just performing my role. Hello, Steph. How are you, darling? Oh, cheeky as always, I see. Hey, Chris, what's up? All right. Yes, I second Katie's comment there, Lori. Make an appointment for yourself just to have some time to yourself, because you do need to be able to ground yourself. You need to be able to come back to center, because you can't function overwhelmed all the time, because you will experience burnout, my dear. And we definitely don't want that. So, and I know it's hard to say whenever you're the only one able to take care of everything, but you have to also care for yourself, my dear. Um, okay, so we're seeing through the lies, the manipulation, the envy, the control, the programs, right? And this is causing a lot of people, not only people that consider themselves consciousness based or spiritual. There are so many people, boots on the ground, that don't even give a shit about any of this shit and probably don't believe in most of it, that are actively building community in their sphere, in their area of expertise, in the area where they see a need. So it's not all about being a spiritual person or living in, that state of, I know that I'm a conscious being, and I know that there's a greater thing to all this. It doesn't matter. None of this matters. Your soul is going to perform the function that it was tasked with performing, whether or not you're in the spiritual community. Okay. So I want people to keep that in mind. It's not going to be all like, the culty weirdo stuff where everyone's tapped into the source or their own version of God or religion, that kind of thing. Spirituality can go there, right? There are not a lot of free thinkers in spiritual communities either. There's a lot of people that are tethered to certain beliefs and certain patterns of belief and thinking, that we're not all going to agree on the same thing. We're not all going to be completely unified in what we believe and what we express frequency wise. Even moving into new earth paradigm, we're still not going to have that. Okay, there still will be a level of duality. So people are going to still be on varying levels of frequency within that new earth paradigm. So things are going to be better. People are not going to be so self-centered and so judgy and all of that. But it certainly isn't going to be everyone unified under the same belief system. So that's old earth paradigm programming that we also need to relinquish. Live in a constant state of burnout, honey. I know I know what it I know. Because I've been in the same boat. I've been caregiver on my own for years now, and you know that my daughter was really medically dependent, and I know, trust me, and I know how you don't want to give up. You don't want to take a step and to the side and take care of yourself, because what if something happens, or what if something doesn't get taken care of? What if they need me? All of these things. But you have to for your own well-being, because if you don't put on your own oxygen mask, you're not going to be conscious enough to put on that of others. Okay, so make sure you're taking care of yourself and trying to avoid burnout as best you can, my dear. So we're in this energy of the wounded masculine. The toxic masculine is surfacing. It's rearing its ugly head. It is fighting tooth and nail to claw into the last remaining parts. And my cats are fighting. Lyra is attacking Duncan right now. The boys are going to break it up. So as I'm talking about the wounded masculine and all the toxicity surfacing, the cats start getting into a knockdown, drag out fight. um, it's not going to be pretty. Okay, it's not going to be pretty, and it hasn't been. Trust me, I know it hasn't been. And there's going to be these points in time where you feel like you just want to give up, like none of this is ever going to work. We're still really in the thick of all of this toxicity and all this ugliness. But that's why you're seeing it so much now, is because it is working, is because we are shifting into the light. But first, the light sheds light on the darkness, right? So the darkness is all becoming revealed at this time. We're seeing it all over the place. There's nowhere to turn where you don't see this toxicity, coming to a head somewhere. And it's like everywhere right now. I know you guys, a lot of you know what I'm talking about. So that wounded masculine, represented by the King of Swords in the reverse, okay? He's rearing his ugly head. And it's not just gendered males, okay? We all know this, but anyone who might be watching that it hasn't been part of the community, that doesn't know any of this, that's the lens that I like to, you know, provide this channeled information through, so that anyone on any level can really grapple or grasp what I'm trying to say here. And my words are getting all, I'm stumbling over my tongue right now, so just be patient with me, guys. Sometimes you just have to grab your favorite blankies and stuffies and stim away for a while and reset from the overload. And I do. Awesome, Lori. Yes. Whatever you got to do to bring comfort to yourself, honey. Can't scroll Facebook. It's all about Epstein. Yeah. Yep. Lots being revealed there, and that's not the only source, but that's what they, want focused on right now. Anytime that there's something saying, oh, woo, look over here, look at all this, look at all this, there is absolutely something going on behind the scenes. So let's not forget that there are other sources where things are being revealed right now. So I know that everything's being bombarded by the E-list and everything that comes along with that. Not saying not to focus on that, not to allow that to surface, because that needs to surface, but there's a lot everywhere else that's also surfacing. So don't be distracted every time they want you distracted by something. It's for a reason. So check out Isn't Real, or, whatever's going on. I haven't been watching everything. I've been kind of observing a little bits and pieces of what I am shown, but I have not been investing, because I, as a person, especially as an autistic person, cannot look at injustice and not get really, drawn into it, because no. That's not a good thing for autistic people. We have a super intense sense of justice, and when we see injustice, we feel really strongly about it, and we can be thrown out of balance. So I myself have been pacing myself, having to try to observe without absorbing what's going on. It takes practice. Okay. So I'm telling you guys, if you start to feel sucked into it, I know we can hyper focus, especially neurospicy individuals. We want to hyper focus. We want to obsess on that thing. We want to learn every single thing we can about it and all of the rabbit holes that branch off from that. And it will take you over. So please proceed at a balanced pace. Okay. Because I know some of us in this community are drawn into being aware of what's happening, what's being revealed, what's going on, advocating, and so forth. So I'm not saying don't do that, because if you're called to do that, there's a reason. I'm just saying don't get sucked in, because it is so easy to do so. So as this toxic masculine, this wounded masculine, is surfacing, is rearing his ugly head all over the earth plane at this time, it's because that is being destroyed. That is being disassembled. It is being taken down. Okay. That is the old paradigm. We're no longer entertaining the old paradigm. We can observe, we can witness, because a lot of us are called to bear witness at this time. A lot of us have other jobs, as Star Seed. we have other jobs with regard to our own soul, um, families, and our roots, where we spend the most time with whichever race of beings and location, whatever. So they're also gathering information through their boots on the ground here. So we're kind of reporting back just by witnessing, by observing, by viewing what's happening. We're relaying this information back through our wireless connection, our telepathic connection to those places. So everyone has a different job, everyone has a different calling, a different function. They have different roots from where their soul naturally resides. Okay, so don't deny what you are called to do or to function as, but also remember where you are. You're on the earth plane at this time. We can get sucked into stuff, and there's a lot of disinformation for a reason. Okay, that's all I want to say about that. um Lyra can come in. Yes, thank you. I guess so, yeah. He's gonna want out in a minute, but I guess. Um, so being patient, being grounded as all of this, is taking place, because annihilation isn't peaceful. It's not balanced. There's shrapnel flying around everywhere when something is annihilated, right? So going to be ugly, because what is being annihilated is also fighting desperately to stay. So try to kind of observe from further back so you don't get hit by all the shrapnel. Maintain your balance, okay? And transmute whatever comes up for you, because individually, there are a lot of triggers that are taking place for all of us. This is a collective reading, honey. Thank you so much for joining us. Stick around if you would like to see if any of this resonates for you. Take that as it resonates. But this is not going to be an individual reading, sweetheart. Thank you. So, you're going to be triggered. And we know not to spiritually bypass, because most of you guys have been in this community for so long and watching me for so long, that we've been over this time and time and time and time again. I've drilled it into you guys at this point. So move through your triggers, allow the emotions and the thoughts to surface, and be the observer of those. That's what meditation is all about: observing your thoughts and your emotions, not trying to change them, not trying to fight against them. Hi, Lisa. But to transmute them, to integrate them, to grow from them, right? Turn that shit into fertilizer. So you're going to be personally triggered at this time, whether that is regarding collective happenings or whether it's something else that's going on in your individual experience. You're going to be triggered. That's just how it's going to go at this point, because all of that ego, all of that toxic masculine is being dismantled. So you're going to be personally impacted by that, regardless of how high you're vibing. Okay. Three of Cups in the reverse. Take time to yourself. You don't always have to be, leaning on, I'm not saying not to lean on others if you need to. Okay. Or being the person that others lean on, or being a part of, a group of individuals discussing things that we may all be impacted by or focused on at this time. That's not always necessary. There is this individual journey that you're still walking, as you're here also connecting with others and walking the path for the collective. So, it's not easy for any of us to navigate this. We're walking between worlds, right? We're walking between our higher self in the spiritual realm and the quantum realms, and everything that comes along with that, with starseed origins and so forth. And you guys know, I don't need to tell you. And we're also 1 foot in the physical, tangible realm. So it's not easy always to navigate, or even to see how and what to do within our own lives, sometimes your only function is to remain present and to see and feel the things that are going on. You don't have to always try to fix them. Let me repeat that. You don't always have to try and fix them. Okay. Sometimes just being present is all you need to do for things to start falling into place, for you to start integrating and metabolizing all of the shit storms that you've dealt with and that you've healed through in the past several years. Okay. So remember that you don't always have to be doing something. That's, guess whose energy that is? You don't always have to do something. You don't always have to persevere and to push through to make things work or to fix them. That's the old earth paradigm. That's where they always wanted you to be so busy, so overstimulated, so overwhelmed, so tired that you had nowhere else to go to just be present and to absorb and to just exist. Okay. That's what we're shifting out of. And it can be so incredibly difficult to shift for, trust me, Capricorn stellium here, okay? To shift from being busy all the time, doing, taking care of, and just exist without doing anything, even, research or because I loved research. I love to learn about things. I love being occupied, okay, in some shape or form. Even whenever I'm sitting still with the TV on in the background, I might be, researching. I've got my brain going all the time. Neurospicy, I know y'all, okay. Um, but sometimes I just have to completely shut all that out and just exist. And that's like nourishment for the soul, and you don't realize it until you do it. And while you're doing it, you might have these thoughts that race you back to, oh, what should I be doing? What's gonna fall apart because I'm not taking care of it? What did I forget about that's going to just come crashing down and cause me some um lack of safety because I didn't take care of the thing, or I didn't get back to the person, or I didn't stop. Just stop. Sometimes you just need to exist. You need to give yourself that break. Duncan, are you going to go? Sorry. Kid opened the door for Duncan to go. Thank you. Love you, babe. So you don't always have to be connected to people or doing something or providing for others, okay? Sometimes you need to provide that nourishment for yourself. And sometimes the only way to do that is to just unplug from everything and just sit there and exist. Might be 5 minutes, might be an hour, might be several days or weeks. I wouldn't, like, you need to take care of shit, like bathe and take care of your stuff in this 3D construct for now, but you get what I'm saying. A woman tapped my shoulder and then walked into my arm and hugged me for a really long time. She cried. I told her I love her, that universe loves her, and she's so very necessary and important. After long minutes, she stopped crying, and I just sit down, make sure she was okay. Went on my way home. This was 2 weeks ago, and then meditating on it, I feel that she really blessed me. Aw, I love that, Susan. That's so beautiful. And Helena says a sauna helps. I personally can't do saunas because the tism. Being autistic, it's really difficult to regulate your body temperature, and I get very hot very quick, and it's difficult to cool off once I get to that point. But if you are a person who can regulate your body temperature, I bet a sauna would be absolutely breathtaking for you. I can't even stay in like a hot bath for very long. So like, yeah, it's been a thing my whole life. Like can't do hot baths. I can do very warm baths that cool off quickly, but yeah, my ability to regulate my own body temperature has been lacking my entire life. So, but I know that people do enjoy it, and I know that there are absolutely beautiful benefits for that, both physically and spiritually, from having a sauna. So if you can do this sauna, then have yourself a session. Okay, so we're transmuting all of the shit that's coming up from the past. And baby, we have Mercury going retrograde soon. Okay. So you're going to have your opportunity to reflect on things from the past, because with Mercury retrogrades, shit from the past comes up. And I've already had some, you know, occurring to me mentally and having downloads about things from past experiences. And it's already, I'm already feeling the energy of this Mercury retrograde coming on. So it's probably going to be a bit of a doozy. We're at this juncture where we're moving from the wood snake year to the fire horse year. We've got the ring of fire eclipse happening on the exact same day as that. And we're moving into Mercury retrograde energy. So shit's going to be hitting the fan. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you guys. Shit's going to hit the motherfucking fan. There's going to be a lot more revealed to us. There's going to be a lot from the past that's coming back, whether that's mentally and emotionally or actually tangible experiences or people showing up from the past for us to be able to resolve. Okay. Take a cold plunge. Well, not being able to regulate my body temperature, also that shocks my body into like being frozen to the bone. So I can't win. I have to be at the happy medium. I need balance. I can't function without it. In many, many, many ways. But thanks for the suggestion, Steph. So some of these things might actually be positive, right? Nostalgia doesn't always, more often than not, it means like something positive, right? Coming back from the past. We're going to have the negative shit. We're going to have the revelations about shit from the past, but also people are going to start remembering who the fuck they are at deeper and deeper levels. So if you already know or have an idea of who you are and how magical you are, you're going to have deeper and deeper revelations of that. And that's something to get excited about. This is really positive energy. So, keep your equilibrium about you. You're going to have to straddle the line right now because we are literally walking between two worlds, old earth paradigm, new earth paradigm. Okay. This is the split Dolores talked about in her work all the time. Bucket of cool water outside the sauna. That might be helpful. It won't be one of those really positive marmalade Gatorades. For some. Depends on where you're at, how much work you've done, how much shit you've sorted through. But it's gonna sting sometimes. That's just how it is. Yeah, cold and hypermobile. Not recommended. Whenever I was doing the work for the school district in the cafeteria, I would get hot being in there. I was wearing a t-shirt. Like there was one of my coworkers that would wear a hoodie the entire time, and she was the one that was in front of the big huge pot thing cooking almost everything, or in front of the ovens cooking. And I'm like, how do you function with that hoodie on in front of this heat? I'm, all over the place, not even always in front of these things, and I'm hot. It's hot in here. What the hell? So, and then, after I would leave and be able to sit down and cool off for like 30 minutes, then I would start getting like really super cold, and I would have to pile on layers, and like that's just how my body is. So things from the past coming to light, or realizations about healing that we've done in the past. Right next to that card is the healing card. Be gentle on yourself and release the past. Again, past. We're releasing shit from the past. We're integrating. We're seeing how far we've come. We are seeing things that we can be proud of. Like tons of you, okay, 3 years ago, so many of you were asking me so many questions all the time, okay, about how do I tap into my gifts and abilities? How do I know if I have any? How do I, these kinds of things. And now you guys have discovered on your own path without much of my involvement, right? Just how deep your gifts are and what they are, and you've gotten this deep understanding of how your intuitive gifts function and your soul's purpose here at this time. And 3 years ago, you were barely starting to scratch the surface, and now it's like all of you are guru level, you know? And I'm not taking credit for that. That's all you guys. I'm just an activator. I just help to answer questions where I'm called, where I'm asked, and have my sessions with you whenever you need them, when you're intuitively guided. So going from scratching the surface, like, I don't know if I have any spiritual gifts. What am I supposed to do here? I don't know. Am I a star seed? Do I have other? And then you've gone in and you've had sessions, or you've done your own, meditations, and you've gotten all of this information, and you've activated these soul memories within yourself, and you don't always see it when you're going through it, right? Whenever you're navigating this terrain, you're not always seeing just how much you've uncovered or just how deep you've gone until you look back on it 3 years later and you're like, whoa, I went from like spiritual noob type stuff to I know all about everything, and I can advocate and tell people what they're going through, and I can be the light, and I can be the example, and I've been doing it this whole time. Even when I didn't know I was doing it, I was doing it. Thank you, Katie. I appreciate all of you too. Thank you, Dallas. I love you. Can't do ice swimming anymore. Even they praise it these days. Too much for my heart. Yeah. And you know what? Chinese medicine actually says that cold jolts to the body aren't really that great in many aspects, not just with drink, but with like cold plunges and things like that. You are a different version of yourself today than 3 days ago. Me too. We all are. We've all expanded and grown so much and gained a deeper understanding of who we are and where we came from and what our purpose is here. And we just become more and more certain of that every step of the way as we continue down this path. And, this hasn't been something that's been a norm. Like whenever people would decide to, you know, tap into spirituality, whether that was through religion or some form of spirituality somewhere else, say like in the 1940s, 50s, 60s, it would have taken decades to get from where you guys were 3 years ago until now, and things are moving at a much more rapid clip. um yeah, Chinese medicine says it only sucks the life energy from you. Exactly. So we're not always going to see how much we're shifting or the significance of it as we are in the thick of it. Just like whenever we're doing shadow work, we're not going to always see how far we've come or how much we've healed while we're in the thick of it. But then looking back, you can, whoa, I came a long way. Whoa, I would have never been able to handle this realization or letting go of that thing, a couple years ago. That would have never happened for me. It just wasn't possible for my state of consciousness at that time. But look how fast and how far that we've all been evolving. So I'm expecting, even though there's going to be chaotic and very dark revelations, there's also the light. Because how can those shadows and darkness be revealed without light shining onto it? You can't have one without the other. Yin and yang, babe. Okay? You can't have the light without the darkness, and you can't have the darkness without the light. So, alongside all of the chaos and all of this darkness, we are seeing just how much light we have the capacity to hold within ourselves. So, yes, there's going to be difficulty. Yes, there's going to be ugliness, but you're also going to see the light. You're also going to see the true humanity within others and within yourself. Just like when some kind of natural disaster catastrophe happens. We've talked about this millions of times too. We go in and we serve where we're needed. We don't ask questions like, what religion are you? Or else I'm not going to save you. What belief system? Or are you gay? Or are you trans? Or are you black? Are you white? Are you Asian? Are you? We don't do that. In those circumstances, we just show up and help our fellow human beings. It's even more deeply ingrained in us than the programming that they've tried to slap on layer over layer over layer for the past 11,000 years. Because we cannot escape who we truly are at the root. We can be programmed, we can be swayed, we can be, confused, we can forget. We pass through the veil of forgetfulness just to exist here. We can forget who we are. We've all experienced that. You guys, specifically the ones who have been here from the beginning, or even those who haven't, who have had their own experiences outside of me with information similar outside of this program. You've seen, you've remembered more and more all the time who you truly are at the soul level. Instead of projecting programming, now you're projecting your true frequency. And that is switching on the light switches for every single unawakened person all over this plane, regardless of beliefs, regardless of perspective, regardless of position. And that's what the shift is about. It's not about leaving anybody behind. It's about everyone coming to this realization on their own time in an expedited way. Okay, because the shift and all the energies external to us with planetary alignments and with universal phenomena, there's new energies that are breaching our atmosphere that haven't been along for millions of years, even some brand new that we have never encountered before in this quadrant of the solar system of the universe. Okay, so there are going to be new things being revealed to us about the truth, about the source of who we are. Okay, that's going to uncover and expand even greater than it ever has before. And so when I've talked about this earth show, everyone's invested in it, okay? And this impacts every being in existence, every energy in existence, period, point blank, across the multiverse. I'm fucking serious about it. Okay? Because you can't have one thing happen within your body without it affecting another part of the body. Right? And that's only within your own physical vessel. So imagine the greater body of source, which we are all a fractal of. Source is the multiverse. It's not even the universe, it's the multiverse. It's everything in existence and everything that's not. So you can't have one thing happen with one cell of this greater body without it impacting the entire thing. This is serious, okay? And not in the way that you got to do this right. You got to do it exactly to the T because all of it's taken care of. It's all divinely orchestrated anyway. But you don't understand the significance of what's happening with you in the greater body of this collective, but also this collective in the greater body of the totality of everything. This is unprecedented. This has never before been seen. And that's why there's so much attention from outside sources on what's happening here, because it impacts everything. It ripples out. It impacts the multiverse. So, your part in this is not insignificant. It is not minuscule. It is not tiny. It may look like that from certain perspectives, but you have no idea the impact of your frequency on this totality of everything. So never, ever, ever think that you're insignificant, ever, because we need you. You wouldn't be here if we didn't. The waters are starting to flow. Sorry, guys. So heal yourself. Wake the fuck up and realize just who exactly you are at the soul level. Don't disbelieve these downloads, these revelations, these epiphanies, aha moments about you, about your experience, about your function here. Don't dismiss yourself. Enough people have done that your entire life. You don't need to add to it. You just need to exist for a while and let the revelations reveal themselves to you, and they will. You don't have to seek them out. You just have to remain present in every moment that you possibly can. It is not always easy to remain present. I get that. But to consciously make the effort to try is all you need to do. So again, stop doing, stop chasing, stop being so busy that you have no time for you, and just exist for a while, because it's important to the totality of the everything, okay? Four of Swords, rest, take that breather, take that break, just exist for a while. That's what this card's all about. Just exist. Because when you're present with it, you're healing, you're allowing the energy to flow freely, to move where it needs to move. When you're not trying to direct that energy, when you're not trying to impede this energy from taking root and doing whatever unwanted thing it wants to do, you're resisting. You're not allowing the energy to move freely and flow as it needs to, so that it can permeate and so it can actually take shape how it's meant to, because the darkness is just as important as the light. The traumas, the negative experiences that you've lived through, okay, the impact of those things, it all has impact on the light, on the good things that can happen. And if we dwell on that, if we focus our energy there, we're not allowing the light energy to flow freely and to take root and do its thing. Stop trying to control everything. Stop trying to shield yourself from any possible, even the little things that could go wrong. Because it's not going wrong, it's going right. Sometimes that darkness has to happen so it can trigger that light to shine. And the light shines brighter than the darkness. You need both. We live in a dualistic universe at this time. So stop trying to control everything. Your ego's going to try to control everything. It wants to keep you safe. It wants to prevent you from being hurt, from being traumatized again. And that's a good thing. That's the light within the dark, because the ego, a lot of times it's perceived as the dark because it's trying to control, because it's that wounded masculine energy. Just let things exist. Let them unfold as they need to, and then take care of it in the best way that you can with what you know and what you have available at the time. Okay? Sovereignty, right next to that healing card. You're calling back your power. You're standing in the truth of who you are. You're not allowing yourself to distract yourself from the truth of who you are by, being your own critic and saying, "Oh, you're insignificant. You don't need to do shit. This whole thing is going to happen, and other people are, going to be in the spotlight, and other people are going to take care of everything, and I'll just sit here trying to damage control and trying to patch up all of these holes in my own boat." Exist, yes. Take a step back, yes. But when you're revealed what your calling is, then you can't not move towards it. That is healed masculine energy. That is balanced. That is not trying to fight against. That is not trying to stop the inevitable. That's moving with the energy. That's healing. That's giving awareness where it needs to go while allowing what needs to exist, even if only for a while, to observe, to learn from, to grow from. But then you provide the healing balm. Then you provide the solution. We cannot avoid every negative thing in our lives. I can't avoid negative things happening to me in my own life. And I have a pretty good intuitive sense of things, right? I am shielded from seeing certain things that are about to unfold in my life because I'm not meant to avoid them. I'm meant to fucking go through them, armored the fuck up, ready to take on whatever is coming at me, whatever I need to navigate. I have the tools, I have the knowledge, I have the wisdom, but I'm not going to avoid it. There's no possible way. Even if I could, that would kind of make me a coward. I just don't want to deal with that because that's too big and too ugly and too scary. It's too dark. I don't like that demon. I don't want to go up against that one. No, we're going to face everything head on. We're going to deal with it. We're going to navigate it. We're going to let it fucking change us. We're going to let it fucking trigger us. And then we're going to heal that shit so that it never has to come back up again, so that we can integrate that. That is a part of my story. That is a part of my healing. That is a part of my process. And that gained me the tools, the wisdom, the intelligence to help others who may be navigating through something similar, or, to be able to guide others through their own difficulty because I've been through so fucking much. We're never going to avoid dark things happening to us, no matter who we are. It's not about that. It's about being present within every situation and navigating it as best we can. Yesterday I was going to clean and do laundry, but I was so exhausted, had no energy to even move except for attending Lynn's needs. And so I decided to get takeout for lunch and dinner because I had no energy to cook, and I rested until late evening when I finally had the energy to clean the bathroom and the shower. At least I accomplished something intended to my own needs. I love that, Lori. You accomplished everything you were meant to accomplish. Accomplishing, feeding and taking care of yourselves, and also being able to be present with yourself and just exist. You achieved it. So that was heavy lifting, especially for you right now, because you feel the need to constantly be doing stuff. So you did the heavy lifting by doing nothing at all. So I love that. Thank you, Dallas. Thank you, Helena. So you're taking back your power, your sovereignty, by not allowing the darkness to intimidate you so much, to scare you off, to make you avoid it. You're moving through it in your truth with your light. You're gathering the experience, you're gathering the tools, you're gathering the wisdom, and you still make it through on the other side of things. Take the love you give others and give it to yourself. Exactly. Hi, Kara. Love you, darling. Nice to see your gorgeous face in here. So, by resting, you're taking back your power. By pulling your energy back from trying to fix or to mediate or to take care of or to take some kind of action in order to avoid the inevitable darkness, you're healing that wounded masculine within. You're taking back your own sovereignty. Because let me say something about the wounded masculine. And you can see this played out in all of the negative masculine personas that you see all around this earth plane, and people that you know and love, or just know, or just see on the world stage. Take your pick. There are many. Let's be honest here. There are many. Each one of those individuals operating from that wounded masculine, whether they're gender male or not, they're always looking for the approval of other men who they see as more powerful than them. Does that really look like sovereignty to you? You're not sovereign if you're controlled by your perceived judgments of others looking at you. That one that wants to trump everyone else, that one that wants to be seen as the biggest and the best and the baddest and oh, I'm this nut. His entire identity is based on the perceptions and the judgments of others looking at him. So when someone makes fun of this person, he's going to get all out of sorts, going to do all kinds of stupid shit, make all kinds of mistakes because he doesn't like being viewed by others as incompetent or incapacitated or lacking in some way. That is not sovereignty. No matter how much control they exert over others, they are not sovereign. And we're moving into a paradigm where only sovereignty can exist. So, you see health declining. You see people making their exits all the time, every single day. Hi, Wendy. Love you. It's so nice to see you too. Hi, Carl. Nice to see you, love. And when you ask the universe for more, it is important to be open to about how it comes. Yes, Carl, exactly. So take back your sovereignty. Don't let outside circumstances dictate whether or not you can sit and rest and give to yourself what you need to nourish yourself. Take back your sovereignty in every way, shape, and form. And you're only going to do that when you're in a balanced state where you can truly see clearly. Because when we're under stress, under pressure, under anxiety, we're trying to perform, trying to people please so that we avoid any kind of negativity or backlash. That's not sovereignty. When we can be at that balanced state and rest, we can stand in our power. We can see clearly what deserves our attention and what does not. This is opening up new opportunity. This is allowing this new phase, this new energy, this new chapter to take root. This is opening us up to that limitless potential. Like the second card that we pulled up, the Delta doorway. Seeing clearly from the feminine energy, openness to the new creations, being fully capable of creating new things, bringing new things into being, anchoring that love, that nurturing of self and others. Because do you think that the healed feminine depletes herself to perform functions for others? No. Does she allow someone to provoke her in a way where she gives her power away? Does she allow these old subconscious programs to run her show? Nope, because she is fully sovereign. And being fully sovereign means there are no programs running your show, old, new, or otherwise. It's just anchoring your own frequency and operating from that space. When we are fully sovereign, is there any reason to hurt another? If we are fully financially free, is there any reason for the normal human, not talking about that 1%, the normal human being, to steal from another person? If I have enough money to buy 17 yachts and 65 vacation homes and, cars and whoever and whatever I want. And I mean that like not owning a person, but you know what I mean. Am I going to need to go and steal from Joe Blow on the corner? Why? Am I going to need to go steal food without paying for it? No. Am I going to have to go hurt another person if I'm fully sovereign and I'm fully secure in my existence? Am I going to have to go unalive someone else or do someone else dirty to get another person to gravitate to me? No. So imagine this entire plane being filled with fully sovereign individual beings. No crime, no, stepping on others to get ahead. If we're all fully sovereign, if we're all completely balanced, there is no crime. There is no ugliness with our fellow human beings. There's no room for racism. There's no room for classism. That's what we're moving into. That's where we move into what can I do to make this place even better? Because I'm enjoying life. I love existing. I love everyone else that loves existing because we're all just loving each other up instead of tearing each other down. So, what else can I contribute? What do I enjoy creating? What am I good at? What am I gifted at? Where can I help? That's what we're moving into. So don't dwell on tearing down another person's perception or beliefs, no matter how dark and ugly they are. Okay. Just plant seeds and move the fuck on. Because when you're tied to the outcome, you're also hindering the energy from moving freely and being able to tangibilize in the way that it's meant to. You're here to seed the light, starseed. You can't seed the light if you're constantly engaging in the darkness. And that's not to say don't do anything, don't advocate, don't dabble in, dealing with the darkness, because you're going to have to. You're all warriors. You're here to confront darkness in whatever scope that means for you, for your calling, for your individual experience. So plant the seeds and walk away and just know that'll take form whenever it's meant to. It'll sprout when it needs to, when it's time. But we can't force others to believe something that they don't believe. We can't force them to see something that they don't want to see. And when we try to force, we're fighting against, we're resisting. And whatever we resist persists. That's the name of the game when it comes to energy. Know that you're divinely protected. Place your protections around your loved ones, around Gaia, or whatever you feel called to do. But again, call back your power. Stand in your sovereignty. You cannot protect another if you are not sovereign. Put it in this way. If you have an entity attachment, can you protect someone that you care about from having an entity attachment? Your energy is already compromised. So how exactly do you expect to be able to shield and protect another being if you're not fully sovereign yourself? Same thing. In the darkness, there must come out the light. Stay alive. Yeah. Yep. Sometimes, most of the time, actually, many of us need to go through so much darkness before we can even really see the light in ourselves because of, caregivers from early on, programming that was ingrained in us from early on. Sometimes we have to really navigate the darkest of the dark before we can truly see our light, because it was so programmed out of us that we even had a light to begin with. We had to have someone else dictate to us our connection to our light by way of a priest, pastor, religious medium. So stand in your own sovereignty. Become so fucking sovereign that everyone and everything around you and connected to you can't help but benefit from your sovereignty, from your protection, unconditionally, whether they believe the same as you or not. And I know that can be a trip up for a lot of us. Trust me. I know. But you can do it. You can get there. Star Mother, how can you mother yourself? How can you nurture yourself right now? You are a star. You're made of star stuff. Okay? Star stuff and water, baby. So how can you nurture yourself? How can you bring yourself into balance? How can you put on your own oxygen mask? How can you water yourself so that you can stay in your most balanced state, so you can anchor your frequency to this plane, so that you can see where you're being drawn and what you need to do to serve your soul's purpose? Not your partner's, not your child's, not your neighbor's, not the spiritual friend that you met on the internet. How can you serve your function, your soul's calling? You nurture yourself first. You stand fully sovereign in that inner garden. Tend your inner garden, nurture your inner garden. Grow beauty from within first, because that shit's contagious. You cannot be so beautifully and positively impacted on a soul level by another being and not appreciate it and not say, hey, that inspires me to have the same impact on other people, perfect strangers or loved ones. I've spent a lot of time looking for things and I couldn't see them. I was already doing it and didn't notice. Yeah, I know. A lot of the times people want a reading and they, how do I do this? How do I start? But you're already doing it. You just don't see it. Let me highlight here, 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 where you're already doing it. So, you know, we get so focused on not being the thing that we need to be because of previous programming from early on, that we just can't see it for ourselves. Sometimes we need an external perspective, someone to say, babe, you're already doing it. You just have to come to the realization in your own time. And once you do, you take that and you hit the ground running, right? You thought it was supposed to look different. Yeah, everyone does. Everyone does. Bringing the unconscious into the consciousness is the challenge. It is, Carl. It really is. It can be challenging. It can be downright painful sometimes to bring the unconscious parts of your being to light, to awareness, to conscious. But it's a journey in and of itself. And you wouldn't be on it if you couldn't get to the end of the path. So it's all about the ride. It's all about the journey. It's all about the scenery. Just take it all in, do what you can when presented with whatever it is, and keep moving, because the only constant in the universe is change, is momentum. Even if it's stagnated momentum, pooling in the same little circle for a while, it's still moving. So even in your stagnation, you're still going. You're still moving towards your goal. even if you need to revisit that lesson a few times or multiple. There's no judgment on it. It just is. That's what your vessel or your soul needed. I say or, either or, for you to be able to absorb the totality of that energy. Okay. So again, deep replenishment, rest, take a step back, retreat. Okay. Be held, hold yourself, because you need nothing outside of you. I mean, sure, having people, having others that you can count on, having others that can support you is amazing, and it's so beneficial and it's so helpful, and it's exactly what we're meant to do. But also be strong enough to stand on your own. Be gentle enough to nourish yourself first, because if you can't nourish you, how are you going to nourish anyone else? You haven't had the lived experience of nourishing yourself to the degree that you need to. You can never be able to nourish others at the degree that they may need. So again, rest, dive deep, exist for a while, integrate everything, all of the things that you've overcome, all of the shadow work you've done, all of it. You've been healing, you've been on the healing journey. And sometimes we can forget to just stop and exist for a while and absorb what we've done, integrate all of the work that we've done, all of the lessons that we've learned, and allow that love, appreciation, gratitude to really take root and to blossom within. Crescent. This is unfinished energy, because with the moon phases, we have the waxing and the waning period. So whether it's waxing, building up to, right? The accumulation, the finality, or whether it's waning, coming out of that, coming back to the new. Thank you, Laren. Love you. Have a great rest of your day, sweetie, and a beautiful week. It's not full and it's not starting out brand new. You're either in the waxing or the waning period. So, allowing yourself that time to replenish, to take a step back, to nourish yourself, you're going to give it the time to be able to build either to the totality, to the finishing off, to the releasement of whatever it is, or to the building into the where the new chapter, the new phase starts to take root. We're all on different timelines here, okay? This phase is unfinished, this chapter is unfinished, so you need to sit with it. You need to allow yourself to absorb everything that you've experienced and everything that you've learned. And when you're still in your stillness, that's when you have these new revelations come to light. This is when you have these downloads. This is when you can see the direction that you're heading and be able to make more informed choices on where you're going to take this energy moving forward in your life, where you're building your life. Keepers of the earth, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. Your guides, your ancestors, they're all here, and even more star family than you could possibly imagine, all watching the Earth show. And you are a main player in it, whether you believe it or not. Don't discount your significance. You wouldn't be here if you were insignificant. So, you are an integral part of the becoming of the new. You are an integral part in birthing this new existence into being. Doesn't matter how small you feel, you are important. Your job here is important. Your own personal path is important. Stay in your own lane. Focus on your own shit. When you need to lend a hand to someone else, or when you need to shed light for someone else, when you need to plant a seed somewhere, do it. But focus on staying in your own lane. I've had, so many people connected to me for good reasons or for nefarious reasons. But I don't really focus on those. I'm aware of them as it happens, or when I'm made to be aware of them for whatever reason so that I can navigate my own lane. But I don't let other people's judgments, other people's words, other people's lies or slander or truths influence where I'm going with my own experience. That's just background noise. I serve the purpose in other people's lane where I'm needed, where I'm supposed to, but I'm never focusing on what they're doing. I'm focusing on what I'm doing. That's the path of least resistance. I'm not going in to find out, oh, what are they saying about me? What do they think about me? Are they saying truths, or are they saying lies, or what are they doing right now? I'm not focused on where anyone else is at this point. Anyone that I've been affiliated with in the past that I'm no longer affiliated with, I'm not focused on what they're doing. I might be made aware of what they're doing at times, but it doesn't affect me. It doesn't throw me off of my own game. Because I don't fucking care. That's not my job. Their path ain't my job to walk. I got enough shit on my own path to navigate. I don't care what they're doing. Let them. Let them be. Let them exist. Let them throw whatever shade they want to. It's not going to impact me. Unfuckwithable, my dear. Unbothered, my love. Okay? That is the goal. And they're serving their function. I'm serving my function. They're serving theirs. You're serving yours. And we're all part of this mycelial network that is working together for the shift. Beehive. Not all bees have the same job. If they did, the hive wouldn't function as it's meant to. There's the worker bees going off to pollinate and to gather the pollen and to bring it back so these other bees can, help make the honey and help take care of the queen and help, repair the nest wherever they need to. Nobody's doing the same exact job. They're not trying to dictate, oh, you're not gathering the right pollen because this honey is supposed to taste the way that I expect it to. No. They're all serving their own functions for the greater collective, for the greater good of the all. Yep, Lord knows we've been through some people, shedded lots of skin. Yep. Every encounter has brought us more wisdom, more, opportunity to operate out of our own integrity and to anchor in our own frequency without someone being able to throw us off. So, girl, we've been doing good. Yeah. Don't give a F about anything that you do. Believe that. Okay? I don't fucking care. Some of them have way more followers than me than possibly I'll ever have in a lifetime. I don't care. I'm still on my little soapbox here, interacting with the people that I love and care about and helping to nourish others while also taking in nourishment from you guys. And we're all here just loving and nourishing each other. And we're not fucking with each other. We're not trying to tear each other down. We go where we're guided, whether that's huge groups or tiny ones. Doesn't fucking matter. We're all serving our purpose here. We're all anchoring our frequency here, and that's all that matters. Okay. So let them be a thorn in your ass. Or don't let them be a thorn in your ass. Handle your shit appropriately. Okay. Shut down, protect yourself, do what you got to do to maintain. Okay. But don't let them rock you. Don't let them get to you, because people are gonna, they're gonna like you or they're not gonna like you. It's not your job to people please. We've outgrown that. We've done so much work to outgrow that. There's not going to be a situation where everyone loves everything about you and everyone likes you. It's just not possible. Not if you're operating from authenticity. A lot of people don't like me. A lot of people have some shit to say about me. A lot of people feel some type of way about interactions that we've had. I get 5-star, beautiful, amazing, fucking life-changing reviews. People talking about, oh my gosh, she's changed my life, or she's this or that. But I also have people that say, she read me wrong. I got a review on the psychic site that I work for a week ago saying that she read me wrong, blah, blah, blah. And whatever. Some people want you to feed into what they want to happen instead of giving them the truth. Whenever they're faced with the truth, they're not going to like it. They're going to go on the defensive. They're going to do what they're going to do. They're going to leave a bad fucking review. Whatever. Okay. Don't come to a real person and expect me to lick your ass for you. It's not going to fucking happen. I'm going to tell you what I see, and I'm going to help you as best I can to navigate what you're experiencing. So not everyone's going to like you. You're not going to have all 5-star reviews. And if you did, that shows that you're not being authentic. You're just selling people what they want to hear. That's just giving people a line of bullshit just because that's what they prefer. And that's not going to happen. Everyone's not going to like you if you're operating from a place of authenticity. Don't waste time trying to convince a fly why honey tastes better than shit. Exactly. Exactly. We are family, Susan. But yeah, a lot of people can't face themselves, and that's okay. That's not my problem. Does that impact me? Not really. Like, I can see and understand where your experience is coming from and where your perspectives are coming from the experiences that you've had, but that's not going to personally impact me. It might kind of like be like a thorn in my ass for a minute. Like, what the seriously? Like, really? You're gonna say some untrue shit just because I rubbed you the wrong way by telling you the truth? Annoying, but did it make me stop? No. Did it hinder my business? No. I've been making great money with or without that one 3-star review. By the way, it wasn't like the lowest review. It wasn't the most terrible thing, but totally untrue. It didn't really bring down my average that far. I still have 4.75 stars. So out of all of the 5-star reviews I have, your 3-star review isn't going to, make my business collapse and, shove me off into the corner, into that cave that I'll never come out of again. No, I'm going to keep doing what I do. I'm going to keep showing up exactly as I am, delivering the truth as I see it. And if you like it, great. If you don't, find somebody else that'll give you the line of bullshit that you're looking to snort. I don't care. I don't care. So stay in your own lane. Don't be affected by other people's negativity, other people trying to throw shade at you, other people trying to bring you down. Stand in your own truth, in your sovereignty. Keep your power in your own hands. Don't give someone else the power to dictate to you who the fuck you are, or how you operate, or how you're seen, or how you're not seen. Only you can do that. Oh, thank you, Suzanne. I love you. Yeah, they just can't see their truth. And that's okay. It takes all kinds. Like, I was telling a colleague of mine about a client that I had last week that, like, she called with the purpose of finding out if this guy that she has in one of her classes is interested in her, even though he has a girlfriend and they're together all the time. And she says the girlfriend's clingy. All she does is wear all black all the time. And I'm like, tell me more. 10-star. Thank you, Susan. I love you. But just going on about how, I'm a fashionista, and described to me literally to the T, like, several outfits that she had worn that week, and asked, did this get his attention? A pick me girl, right? And here I am kind of eye rolling to myself because, oh my gosh, I really don't enjoy these. I like deeper, more like, impactful things. Not, does this guy who has a girlfriend notice what I'm wearing because I have diamonds and like bright colors and I'm so beautiful? I'm a fashionista. It takes all kinds. Okay. And I gave her the information she needed, planted the seed, and I was done. Okay. And then we're going to move on. And then I have these incredibly complex, amazing people that are facing challenges in their lives and trying to figure out how to navigate them and grow from them, you know? So you're going to meet people of every echelon. And it's how you navigate that. I navigated hers, the fashionista, with integrity, with kindness, with love and support, but also like, girl, you're worth more than investing in this kind of thing. So, yes, they're going to see when they're ready. Yes, definitely. Trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? You are supported. And the only one whose support and recognition you truly need is your own. Trust your own path. Trust where you're going, because your path isn't going to look like anyone else's. You're going to have different difficulties, different levels of difficulty, different quests. Okay. You're going to have different callings. You're going to be called to do something completely different. Someone, like I talk about all the time, you could be so gifted and so drawn to being an HVAC specialist. Bless you. I fucking love you and I fucking need you, because we all need air conditioning up in this bitch, right? And heating, right? You serve a huge, important purpose. I don't know shit about HVAC. So yes, please, if that's what lights you up, you know, what creates passion within you, then become an HVAC specialist, please. Okay? If you feel like you need to be on stage front and center being a spiritual guru or being a support system or a leader of some sort, then please fucking do it, because we need more of you. But what we don't need is someone thinking, oh, I need to be good at what they're good at, even though I have zero talent or zero desire in that area. I like the way it looks on them, so I'm going to go ahead and try to step in their shoes. We don't need any more of that. Oh, Julia, it's okay, honey. Don't be scared of making mistakes. Mistakes are opportunities to get it right the next time. Okay? When I read people with 2s in their birthday, they have a hard time understanding themselves and their emotions. It's hard for them. I try to meet them where they are with understanding. Yes, perfect example. It's perfect. Like when I read someone like the fashionista, it gives like my internal eye roll, probably an external eye roll too, because I make facial expressions out loud all the time. I'm glad that that these take place over the phone or over text chat, because the faces that I make probably aren't that great all the time. But you know, you handle it, you meet them where they're at, and you plant the seed for you deserve better. You know, become your own sovereign being. Don't go after something that's not meant for you. Go, you know, go to where you're drawn, yes, but don't spend too much time fighting against someone else for a guy to pick you. Like that's not the business, babes. Okay? That's not good for anybody. Or I have these clients that are deeply in tune with themselves, that are looking for validation of what they're picking up on, or insight and guidance into how to navigate really difficult situations. And they're focused on the healing, and they're focused on themselves and doing the best they can for themselves. And I mean, I meet them at those depths too. So you know, we're here not to judge others, but to meet them where they can best understand the guidance, right? 2s are all love and very sensitive. That's precious. I love that. And if you want a numerology reading, Suzanne is the one to get it from. So definitely hit her up. Trust your path. Go where you're guided, right? Because that's leading you to this treasure trove. This treasure trove, first, it's not external to you, it's within. Okay. Internal fulfillment is the path of least resistance. Your own internal fulfillment, whatever that is, whether that's HVAC, whether that's fashion, whether that's providing detailed, beautiful, life changing readings for others, whatever it is that fulfills you, is the path of least resistance, because whenever you feel fulfilled and you're happy and you're secure and you're sovereign and you're feeling like you're exactly where you're meant to be, everything else will fall into place. Everything else will gravitate to you. Your success, your happiness, your stability financially and otherwise, the perfect partner, if that's what you want, you know, the perfect friend circles, the perfect family situations, whatever it is, all of that is going to just start to gravitate to you and click into its place when you're not fighting and you're not trying to walk someone else's path and you're not, you know, stuck in the clutter and the noise of the world around you, which is the old programming. That's what they want. They want you stuck. They want you trying to walk other people's paths and judging everyone else, judging yourself, and not being able to see clearly who you are. So you never get to ground that into this plane and change the fucking landscape. So don't be distracted. Don't be, you know, focused on giving away your power every time you're triggered. Don't give that knee-jerk stimulus response. That's not sovereignty. Standing in the knowing of who the fuck you are and saying, yeah, you know what? I did it. It might have offended you. It might have upset you, but I fucking did it. What are you going to do about it? You know, just like with the first co-host that we had that left this whole situation, not taking accountability for anything that caused, you know, this detachment and this upset, this rift, trying to lie their way out of it. Oh, no. And I I told you guys, point blank told him, like, I would have more respect for you if you said, yeah, I fucking did it. And what are you going to do about it? Do something about it. I would have more respect for you if you had that energy about you, but instead you're cowering in the corner and saying, oh no, I didn't do anything. I didn't do that. I didn't say that. I didn't try to kick you off your own page and steal it from you. The fuck? No, if I did something like that, if I'm going to have the balls enough to do something like that, I'm going to have the balls enough to say, yeah, I did it. And what are you going to do? Okay. So if you're going to do something, then stand on it, 10 toes down. Doing the work and so many opportunities have opened up for me. I'm so grateful. I love it, Kara. You have. Like, girl, you've been accomplishing a lot this year. Well, I mean, not 2026, but like in the past year from now until a year ago. But yeah, as you stand in your truth, in your sovereignty, as you stand 10 toes down on what it is that you want and what it is that you are and what it is that you're doing, then all of the things that you want, that you've created in the quantum, start to anchor themselves into your reality. So do your own thing, stay in your own lane, keep your focus on your own shit. Do it as best you can. Take time to rest, take time to integrate, take time to nurture yourself, because you can't be going all the time on this thing or that thing or the other, because you're not going to see the opportunity that just opened up to anchor something else that you're not focused on right now at the moment, because you're focused tunnel vision on this thing. You're not going to be able to anchor that in. You're not going to even see it. So take a step back. Just focus your energy on centering and nurturing yourself, and allow other things to fall by the wayside for now. See where you end up and let me know. I love you guys. That was a very long reading. It was 40 minutes longer than usual, but apparently we all needed it, you know, so I do what I'm supposed to do. I just listen and move. I don't try to restrict. So let's all do that, okay? Anywho, I love you guys. I will let you guys get back to your day. I've kept you long enough. So I will see you guys all next week. Same time on Sunday. Well, depending on where you are on this earth plane. But Yeah, same time as today. You'll see it on the whatchamacallit. Thank you, Suzanne. I love you. I love you, Holly. Thank you. It has been a long year. And just while I have all of you guys, please hold space and send extra love and healing to Holly as she is navigating her own health at this time. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, Val. Hello, honey. I love you too, Susan. You guys are the best. I couldn't ask for a better soul soup than you. So I will see you guys next week on Sunday, depending on where you're at in this place. And until then, have a beautiful week, and I will see you guys soon. Thank you, everyone, and you're welcome. Thank you guys for all your love and support.